like to see? What I would like to see in WWE 2K15, which will be coming out this year. Well, it all depends on how we're going to get it. Now, apparently reports are, I should say, that Ukes is going to continue on with the development of it. Which pretty much means we'll probably get a similar game as we've gotten over the past few years, but maybe with different modes. You know, this year's focus on 2K14 was WrestleMania mode, 30 years of WrestleMania. Secondly, secondly, we had to create a championship return. We had more added to create an arena. We've had more added to create a wrestler, and so on. But what would I like to see added? And I know 2K hopefully will be watching some of these videos that me and everybody else are going to be doing over the next year, or at least going into the fall when the game probably comes out. But what would we like to see? Well, first of all, I would like to see, and I think anybody else would agree, I'd like to see a lot of the glitches and stuff just taken care of. You know what I'm saying? No more of the running of the music over, or the delay of music, or the mashing of music, you know, for entrances and all that, because it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't seem right. I mean, you wonder why a lot of people haven't been doing some CPVs lately with 2K14s, because pretty much they don't want to have to deal with excuse my language there, sorry Lord, please forgive me for saying that, but screwed up entrance music for their games. Second of all, they don't want no more freezes. You know, they don't want any of this right off the bat. What they want right off the bat is a game that, may have some problems, but they're not as major, they're not as prominent, if you will, as what we have seen with 2K14. So hopefully that will be addressed and taken care of. Now, what else would I like to see? Well, pretty much everybody at 2K14 and at Ukes and at WWE Games pretty much knows that a lot of fans like myself like to create their own leagues, like to create our own CAW leagues. In fact, I think, what was his name, Brian Williams or something, I can't remember, even mentioned this in an interview. So what I would like to see is improvements for the CAW stuff, like the story mode for not CAW, for the creating mode. Here's what I would like to see. You know, when we create an arena and such, we would like, instead of having, when we create an arena or we create a story and all that, instead of having our created characters, like let's say one of our created characters is portrayed as a CEO or a authority figure of some kind. You know, to me, instead of having them come out and holding a WWE mic, which makes it too obvious that it's the WWE game, it's still WWE as much as you try to put everything else around it saying it's not. What I would like is for us to be able to change that to where instead of having the WWE logo, just like we would logo on the mic, just like we get to do with the rings, the stage set, the announce table, I would like the opportunity for us to be able to put our CAW League logos on the mic, so it makes it more authentic. So that when, like let's say RPW, which I was watching a little bit last night, let's say they do something, again, with 2K15, which they probably will, instead of having their COO, whatever the authority figure is, whoever the authority figure is, holding the mic that says WWE, let them hold a mic that says RPW. Makes sense. It gives fans more of that freedom, more of that, hey, it's more of that, hey, we know it's a WWE game, but guess what? This isn't a WWE mic. This is all our promotion. This is all our league and all that. So I would like something like that where we could put our CAW logos, or whatever kind of logo we want, onto the mic. Second of all, speaking of our CAW leagues, you know, with the announcers, there's a lot of us, and I mentioned this briefly in and I mentioned this in my video where I talked about what DCWA is, and what DCWA is all about. And I mentioned this there, and I mentioned that towards the end that all you have to do right now is imagine Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler saying your CAW league's name when they're saying WWE in some of the sentences. So here's what I would like to see change. I would like to see change the announcers. I would like to see change the announcing, the announcers being able to say your league's name. In other words, even if it's like, welcome to, and even if it's something like you have Michael Cole going like, or Jerry Lawler saying, hey, listen to the, when he says like, listen to the WWE Universe, instead of, even if it sounds like this, even if it's something like, listen to the RPW Universe, even if it sounds like that, at least it works. You know, like CCL, College Champions League. You could have them like, listen to the CCL Universe. It works. It would work. So to me, I would like to see them add in that, to where even if it's like, even to where it's like, it kind of sounds a little strange in the middle, at least acknowledging your CAW league. Speaking of names and words, I would like more names and more words used. I would almost, honestly, I would like almost a freaking whole dictionary to be used in this thing. Every single name you can think of, every single word you can think of, when you're creating a wrestler, let them have that name, not just, you know, as an entrance, not just when you have the Justin Roberts or maybe even the Lillian Garcia saying, here's so-and-so, but also allow that to be used by the commentators. So they will be, even if it's just first names, allow that to be used by the commentators. Instead of being forced to use a name, like with my CAW character, you got Justin Roberts announcing my name, but the announcers are calling me the hero. And instead of calling me hero, they should just go by the real name of Brian. You know, just like, you know, Night Owl 83-2. Night Owl 83-2. He has his CAW divas and CAW superstars. And to me, instead of, you know, like, let's say his diva, Kelly Baxter, being looked at as Sunshine, a Southern Sunshine, you should put in the name Kelly, you should put in the name Baxter, and then it would be like Kelly Baxter being announced, and then have the Kelly name added for the commentators. Basically give more variety so it doesn't feel like it's still generic, if you get my drift. Also, I think that what should be added as well is that when you do a CAW event, if you do your own event, have the announcers announce what that event is. Like, you know, have Michael Cole go like, welcome to Watch the Throne, or Watch the Throne, what? Just like RPW. I mean, don't tell me for one instance that the people behind RPW or VWA HD would not like to have someone like an announcer like Michael Cole saying, hey, welcome to Watch the Throne, or welcome to Adrenaline, or welcome to Fusion, or welcome to Pulse. It would work. And I think they need to, again, that's about adding more vocal variety, more name variety. And not just to a creative wrestler's name. You know, not just to probably the announcement of your CAW league being announced in the game, but also for your CPV event. It would work. And I think everybody watching this knows that. I think everybody watching this knows that. And you should add that. And speaking of this, if you're going to continue the WWE Universe mode, you should add that to the Universe mode, so that you can build to your own event, and again, you can even have it promoted during the storylines. If you're using WWE Universe mode, and let's say you're doing your version of Pulse, or Adrenaline, or Raw, or SmackDown, or Nitro, or Thunder, you could have the announcers kind of acknowledge the upcoming event. That to me would be worth it for a lot of people, and that would be a great addition, a great welcome. Now, another thing I would like to see, we got the first step this year. There is no doubt about it. We got the first step this year, folks, with the Divas competing in the Elimination Chamber. Finally. But I think what we need to do is add on to that, and we need to have a Divas Royal Rumble mode. That's the one mode that the Divas are always left out in. The Royal Rumble mode. And even add, I don't know, I gotta check again, but if they're not, add them into Slobber Knocker mode. But Royal Rumble mode to me would be great, because if you're gonna give us, again, like you did this year, if not increase it, because of course next year you're gonna have 2K15, not just on the 360 and the PS3, but you're also gonna have it on the Xbox One and the PS4. To me, if you're going to have that additional space, especially with these current gen consoles, the new next gen consoles, like the One and the PS4, you're going to use that to give us maybe more roster space to work with, and like right now you gave us 100, which is great. But let's say you probably add 50 more, that's fine too. Or 25 more, that's fine too, doesn't matter. But let's say you keep it at 100, or you go 125, 150, maybe even 200. Okay, fine, whatever. Here's what you do. If you're going to have that additional space, whether or not you're adding on to the roster or not, adding on the creative roster space or not, you should be able to use it also to create that Royal Rumble mode for the Divas. Because I remember a few years ago when we had, in a Mickie James storyline, we had in the Mickie James storyline, we had that Royal Rumble Divas part of the story, and I'm thinking, if they could do that for story mode, why can't they give it to us for Royal Rumble? For an actual Royal Rumble mode. So to me, I think a Divas Royal Rumble mode would be great. Because there's going to be a lot of people out there, a lot of fans, a lot of consumers, that are going to have a huge roster full of divas. Not just superstars, but of divas. And they would like to utilize them in a very special way. And I think the Royal Rumble would be a perfect use for them. So to me, that's one thing I would like to see. I would like to see a Royal Rumble mode added for the divas. Or at least have the divas be a choice to do a Royal Rumble match with. That's what I would like to see. Now, what else would I like to see? Well, those are just some of the things I'd like to see. Of course, I'd like to see the continuation, the addition of all the superstars and all that, which would be great. There's no doubt about it. I'd love to see the same kind of roster we got this year, with similar additions. But I think also what we need to do is have an NXT section. That's right. Give us an NXT section for the game. So that way we could choose certain NXT superstars and divas to put in the ring. Because come on, don't tell me people don't want to go out and play a game, and do a match, as Bayley, or do a match as Sam Zaney, or do a match as Bo Dallas, or as the Ascension, or as Alexander Rusev, who's coming up to the main roster now. To me, this is all things that can be done. And this is a mode, whether you want to put it in as a DLC or have it right in the game, right off the bat. This is you should give us an NXT section. It would be great. It would be really, really great. Now, as far as arenas go, keep the arenas that we got, but also add on maybe 2 or 3 more. Add on maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 more. One of them should be an actual high school gymnasium. I'm not lying. Make one an actual high school gymnasium. Make one maybe an armory if you will. But one arena I think people would like to see is an actual high school gymnasium. Put that in there. You know, put that in there. Put a, let's say, what other kind of arena can you use? Well, you got WrestleMania 30 happening, right? Put an arena in there similar to the Superdome. There you go. Or put an arena in there, put an arena that's like Wembley Stadium or the Rose Bowl. These are kind of outdoor ones you could use. But like I said, you should add in a high school gymnasium deal. You might say, well, they already did that. No, that's more based around NXT, FCW. You get my drift. But add in a high school gymnasium. Hey, add in the NXT arena if you want to, as part of that. You know, add in the NXT arena as part of that if you want to. Like I said, add in a high school gymnasium. Maybe add in an armory, if you will, like what you did for Tribute to the Troops. Like they did with Tribute to the Troops. Take that and add that in to the equation, and as part of the Creator Arena. Do that. Add in a sound stage. Go old school. Go into the library. Look at what WCW did. Add in the soundstage arenas. And of course, last but not least, like I said, either add in something similar to the Superdome or something like similar to Rose Bowl or Wembley Stadium. And not just that. As far as staging designs go, give us some of the old ECW, WCW stage designs. Or stage sets. You know, of course, add in your own little twist with the HD stuff and all that. But give us something similar, or give us something that is based around it. And like I said, add in the HD if you want to. Add in the stuff like for a Bash at the Beach or a Starrcade arena, Starrcade stage set and all that. Or Living Dangerously or Heat Wave. You get the idea. Or November to Remember or December to Dismember. Or or Massacre on 34th Street. You know, give us these kind of arenas. Heck, add in an arena similar to the Hammerstein Ballroom. You get my drift, right? Yeah. Give us those kind of things. Heck, give us an entrance similar to ECW, in a sense, when you first started it. Give us that kind of, or when you tried to bring it back. Give us something like that. These are just things I would like to see added on. And of course, I'd like to see additional blank belt canvases, if you will, blank championship belt canvases added on to the 5 that we have. Give us like 10 more or 15 more. Give us like 10 to 15 more of those. So that way, or even 5 more if you feel like it, if you feel that's enough. But give us 10 or 5 to 15 more of those. So that we can have more of a variety to distinguish what's our promotion's world title, what's our promotion's Divas title, what's our promotion's tag titles, intercontinental or secondary titles like intercontinental or U.S. You know, give us those kind of opportunities. Give us more of those blank championship palettes, or not palettes, but blank canvases I look at. Give us more of those. I would love to see that. I mean, these are things I would just love to see added into the next game. Also, now you're probably thinking, well, what about mode, Brian? What about mode? Well, it's real simple. I want to see the Ruthless Aggression mode. We've seen the Attitude Era. We have seen, like I said, we've seen the Attitude Era. We're currently seeing 30 years of WrestleMania. Give us something. Give us the Ruthless Aggression Era. Give us that. Give us the Ruthless Aggression Era. Because that is when WWE, despite what you want to say, was probably at its most violent at times. I know you're going to say, not really. And that's true. Mick Foley, Triple H, Mick Foley, Undertaker, yeah, I get that. But I'm talking about the fact that you got a little bit more than that than you bargained for, especially with the addition of ECW. So, Ruthless Aggression Era, I would like to see that added in as well. So, that's all I'm going to say. That's basically what I want to see added to WWE 2K15. and I will talk to you all later.